But we just wanted to just touch base with you, tell you we appreciate you, we love you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And all the people out there watching right now.
Hey, yo,
and Tiffany. For the people, though. I came to party for y'all.
Okay, so what song would you like to hear?
I would like to hear, I sent you some selections.
Okay, hold on, let's get the selections.
Tiffany and I got back on the move. It really didn't allow for us to spend as much time and put as much energy into our relationship. I don't think the love really dispersed. I just think it was just like we weren't feeding the relationship.
Girl, it looks like fans have finally figured out the reason that Common dumped Tiffany Haddish. And girl, it is nasty. Fans are saying that Common allegedly left Tiffany Haddish right after one of Diddy's infamous parties. And let's just say it wasn't over something small. Whatever he saw that night hit him hard. If you've been following the drama between these two, then you know that Tiffany has been very vocal about how she wants him back. Well, the streets are saying that the reason she's so obsessed is that she allegedly knows that it's her fault and she's desperate to get him back. But what exactly did Common see that freaked him out so bad? And how on earth did Tiffany come to be mixed up with Diddy? Let's break it down. Y'all, it has been 4 years since Tiffany Haddish and Common broke up, and we're only now starting to figure out the real reason for the breakup. For a long time, Tiffany convinced us that the reason was that Common had commitment issues, but it looks like she might not have been telling the full story. For context, Tiffany and Common got together during the pandemic, and they've even quarantined together. I'm not gonna lie, they made a cute couple and everyone could see them going long term. But it didn't take long before some serious cracks started to appear and things were looking shaky. It got worse when Tiffany revealed that she wanted him to propose to her with an apartment complex.
If he want to marry me, he can get me an apartment building.
Oh, okay. That would be, you don't want a ring, you want an apartment complex.
I'd give you a duplex, an eightplex or something. You know, when the homegirls be like, where your ring? I thought you was engaged. Where your ring? Where your carrots? Carrots. Girl, please, I got units.
But not only did Common make it clear that he wasn't proposing with an apartment complex, he made it clear that he had no plans to propose at all.
It was good for me and the lady. You know, right now all I want is happiness, good times, peace on earth.
To nobody's surprise, he ended up dumping her a few weeks after that, and according to him, it was a mutual decision with no hard feelings involved.
Tiffany and I got back on the move. It really didn't allow for us to spend as much time and put as much energy into our relationship. I don't think the love really dispersed. I just think it was just like we weren't feeding the relationship.
But Tiffany was not about to let him spread that narrative about the breakup, and she exposed him for lying, saying he might be the type of person that never really settles with somebody. Maybe he's like, you know, like a bee going from flower to flower to flower. I don't know. I wish him nothing but joy and happiness. She didn't stop there because she also spoke to Jason Lee about the breakup, where she said again that the breakup was not mutual and that he lied about the cause of the breakup.
But he said in the interview that the reason why it was ending was because of busy schedules, which I didn't really, I mean, you know, I love Rashid and I know you love Rashid too. And I would never, I didn't want to be rude in the interview, but come on now. That doesn't make sense because you're both famous, you're both busy, you both have schedules.
Right.
What did you think about that?
The same thing everybody else was thinking in them comments.
But that was not the last she spoke about Common, because in another interview she talked about how she still loved him and how he hurt her, saying, "It was the healthiest, the funniest relationship I've ever had. It's where I felt safest out of all the relationships I've ever had. The breakup wasn't mutual. It was more him saying, I think this relationship has run its course." And I was like, okay, like you gonna be a 50-year-old single man? Okay. She was so salty about the breakup that she even threw shade at his new girlfriend, Jennifer Hudson.
He never gave me no damn earrings. He probably gave us to Jennifer.
With all this, it's easy to see why fans would feel bad for her, but it turns out that she might not have been completely honest about the real reason, because word on the streets is that she was allegedly involved in Diddy's shenanigans, and Common was so freaked out that he had to leave her. Now, y'all can say anything about Common, but his name has never come up in any of the freaky type of stuff that goes on in Hollywood. And speaking of Diddy, if you're wondering how on earth Tiffany came to be associated with him, the streets are saying that she was allegedly introduced to Diddy by Kevin Hart. The wild part is that Cat Williams tried to tell us about about this during his Club Shay Shay interview. During the interview, Kat called Tiffany out, saying she was just a puppet being used by Kevin Hart and some big names in Hollywood. He also put her on blast for allegedly lying about performing at the Comedy Store, claiming she never actually did a set there.
They think they can rewrite history. Guy Torrey did a beautiful special about the Comedy Store and Fat Tuesday, where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made... All lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory.
Kat's messy self also called Kevin Hart a fraud and even claimed he was an industry plant. According to Kat, Kevin's rise to fame had less to do with talent and more to do with sucking up to the right people in Hollywood.
Years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words. He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing?
What's really interesting is that Kat mentioned Kevin was on the East Coast, which definitely raised some eyebrows, especially since everyone knows Diddy pretty much runs things out there, or at least he used to before the feds caught up to him. The dots are starting to connect a little too perfectly, and now folks are whispering that Kevin might be way more tied to Diddy than he's ever let on. At first, Kevin Hart tried to act unbothered, saying that he wasn't going to dignify Kat with a response.
If you got to get your get back, and I'm inviting you to come on Point Forward, the podcast, and get your get back from the busy week you had.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck getting me to talk about that horse.
However, he was clearly bothered because he decided to fire back, calling Kat a clown who belonged to a circus.
Kev, you didn't say nothing to Cat Williams when he did a 3-hour interview talking slow yesterday. You didn't put a shot clock on him.
Well, do you entertain the circus or do you watch it, Perk? Which one do you do?
But fans didn't buy it because we all know that Kevin has been to Diddy's freaky deaky parties.
You know, when you have a scene like this, you gotta bring bosses with you. As you see, it's female friendly. We got a ladies and a female. She's butt ball. That's what I call it, raw dog. I'm not jumping the tub myself. You know, once everybody moves out, you know, just me and the lady. This is my scene. I'm used to this type of thing. You know, doing what I do best. Oh shit! Oh, did the camera catch that? Got the camera. Got the camera off.
My brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like that's how. I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the fuck did Puff just say?
Oh, and y'all know what's really interesting? Fans also dug out this old video where Tiffany admitted to being at Diddy's parties.
We just wanted to just touch base with you, tell you we appreciate you. We love you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And all the people out there watching right now.
Hey, yo, and Tiffany.
For the people, though. I came to party for y'all.
Okay, so what song would you like to hear?
I would like to hear. I sent you some selections.
Okay, hold on. Let's get the selections.
So Tiffany was at Diddy's parties, and that's enough to raise suspicion. But that's not all, because Tiffany also has some shady allegations against her. And no, I'm not talking about her DUIs. She was sued a while ago for exposing 2 children to very inappropriate situations. To give a little backstory, in 2022, Tiffany was hit with a lawsuit by 2 siblings who filed under the names Jane and John Doe. They accused her of misconduct, claiming she put them in inappropriate situations that no child should ever be exposed to. According to the siblings, Tiffany became close with their mother after both women went through divorces. The friendship blossomed quickly, and Tiffany even became like family, sending birthday and holiday cards. So when she found out the kids were interested in acting, she offered to help them break into the industry. With Tiffany's growing success at the time, their mother didn't see any red flags and trusted her intentions. She claimed to have found a role for Jane on a project she was working on, but the role turned out to be super super inappropriate for her because she was only 14 at the time. Her role involved her pretending to go down on a hoagie sandwich and give it a you know what. The girl was so horrified that she couldn't do it, so Tiffany got mad and sent her away. Unfortunately, Jane didn't tell her mom what happened at the time, but a few months later, Tiffany contacted their mother claiming she had secured a role for John Doe in a Nickelodeon skit. However, this was a complete lie because John never got anywhere near Nickelodeon. Instead, Tiffany had him film a disturbing skit with comedian Aries Spears titled Through the Eyes of a PDF File. It's pretty clear how messed up the video was. The skit involved John stripping down to his underwear and sitting in the bathtub with Aries, who was rubbing baby oil on him. Y'all know who else loved baby oil? Diddy, that's who. I mean, the feds seized over 1,000 bottles of baby oil from his house during the raid. Once the news of the lawsuit broke, it became a huge scandal and people started dragging Tiffany for filth. She made the situation worse when she had her lawyer release a statement on her behalf saying, plaintiff's mother has been trying to assert these bogus claims against Ms. Haddish for several years. Every attorney who has initially taken on her case, and there were several, ultimately dropped the matter once it became clear that the claims were meritless and Ms. Haddish would not be shaken down. Now, Ms. Morris has her adult daughter representing herself in this lawsuit. The two of them will together face the consequences of pursuing this frivolous action. But it didn't end there, because in 2023, she was sued again by the mother of the kids. The mom, whose name was Trizza Morris, is now suing Tiffany and Aries Spears. According to the court documents, Trizza claims that in the summer of 2014, Tiffany and solicited her young children to perform in, film, record, publish, and distribute inappropriate material. Trizza also sued for defamation because she claimed that Tiffany made her look money hungry when she got sued by Trizza's kids in 2022. Radar Online reported that in her lawsuit, Trizza accused Tiffany and Aries of defaming her by making public claims, following her children's lawsuit being filed, that she was attempting to extort them. According to the court documents, Trizza claimed that the comedians, via their reps, made slanderous statements about her character, integrity, morals, and ethical values. In her suit, Trizza claimed despite the public statements by the comedians, the alleged extortion was never reported to any authorities. Between her creepy lawsuit and her love for Diddy's parties, it's no surprise that Common dumped her. Fans are saying that he didn't like what he saw and he knew he had to dip before getting caught in her mess. But I want to know how y'all feel about this. Do you think that Common did the right thing dumping her, or do you think that he could have stayed and worked it out? Drop your thoughts in the comment section, then check out this next video.